Welcome to another virtual class. Today's class will be on Solitary Reaper, the poem that you people have as the second poem in your book, and it is by William Wordsworth, the greatest of the romantic poets in English literature, with whom actually we have an age in English literature. So without taking much of your time, let us switch on to the beautiful poem, The Solitary Reaper. Today we will read poem, and before going to the poem, let us start with the poet. As I told you, that one of the greatest romantic poet, as he is known as the greatest of the romantic poet. He is William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth was born on 7th April 1770 in Cockermouth in the Lake District, England. He is regarded as the worshipper of nature. Love of nature is the major theme in his poetry. So whenever we read about William Wordsworth, we will find nature is a big element in his poems, because poets are attracted by natural beauty. He wrote about ordinary man and woman and in the language of ordinary people. So common men and their common ways of expression, common language, common lifestyle was the main theme of William Wordsworth. For him, poetry, he has given us a beautiful definition of poetry, that is, poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings collected from emotions recollected in tranquility. So it is one of the things that tranquility means peaceful. When we are in utter silence, when we are in our own self, and the emotions that are recollected, that are remembered by us, and when that emotion overflows within us, and that has to come out in the form of poetry. So the beautiful definition of poem or poetry given by Wordsworth is, I may repeat the lines for you people, that is spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. And now he died at Rydal Mount and Gardens, United Kingdom on April 23rd, 1850. So total how many years he lived? From 1770 to 1850. Means we can say that long 80 years. And we have a beautiful age named after him, that is romantic age. He is one of the great romantic poet in English. See, here is a picture for Scotland. This is the detailed map of Scotland for you people to have an idea that where actually the poet started. That let us start the first stanza of the poem. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary highland lass, reaping and singing by herself, stop here or gently pass. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary highland lass, reaping and singing by herself, stop here or gently pass. Behold, the first difficult word for you people is to look at something or somebody, to look at something or somebody. Behold her. Her means that solitary reaper, the girl. Single in the field. Single, lonely, akeli. In the field. Yon. Yon is an old use. We can say that it is over there. Udhar dekho, ye dekho. Yon solitary highland lass. Highland is the mountain regions. As I show you the photo of Scotland, you can find it out over there. That is solitary means single or alone. Highland stands for mountain regions, and lass is a girl who lives in the highlands. So lass is the girl, and the masculine gender of lass is lad. Lad means boy, lass means girl. Next, alone she cuts and binds the grain. Alone she cuts and binds the grain and sings a melancholy strain. Oh, listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. Alone she cuts. See, the girl cuts and binds the grain and sings a melancholy strain. Now melancholy stands for sadness. Melancholy strain is song. So melancholy strain in a single way, melancholy strain, the meaning of the word melancholy strain is sad song. Wail here stands for valley and sings a melancholy strain. Oh listen for the wail profound. Wail means valley. पहाड़ तल अंश जोटा आम उपत्यका बोली कहूचे द वर्ड वैली वेल स्टैंड्स फॉर दैट वैली profound deep and wide for the whale profound means deep and wide. So the whale profound is overflowing with the sound, is overflowing to be so full that the contents go over the sides. When the glass overflows means the glass has the limited capacity. If we put more water on that will go beyond the banks, beyond the cover, beyond the sides, and that is what we call overflow. So that is overflowing means the song of the music of the sound of the girl's song was echoed throughout the valley. The whole valley is overflowed. The whole valley is rather as if bathing in the beautiful song or music as expressed by the highland larks. And the poet is rather motionless up to there. Now as a poet, he now goes on to compare the singing of the single girl with two representative birds, and they are singing. See the first one. No nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes. No nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to the weary bands of travellers in some shady haunt among Arabian saints. No nightingale did ever chant more welcome note to the weary bands of travellers in some shady haunt among Arabian saints. No nightingale means कौनसी नाइटिंगेल चढ़ई. नाइटिंगेल बुलबुल चढ़ई आम कहि परिबा. नो नाइटिंगेल डिड एवर चांट. चांट chant, chant, you can say chant also, and it means sing. Very excessive tired, very tired after working hard for a long time. Very थकी जाइथिबा क्लांत. Band माने group, a group of people, band of travelers in some shady haunt. Shady haunt stands for the word मरुद्यान. मरुभूमि रे जोठी टिके जलाशय गोटे अछि जोठी समान को ऑटो माने टिके विश्राम नै पारंती. समान विश्राम नै पारंती. मरुयात्री दल जेतबे जाउ थांती किछि जागा रे समान मरुभूमि रे एमती किछि जागा अछि जोठी समान टिके विश्राम नै परिबे, पानी टिके पी परिबे, निज पई जो संगे आनी थांती खाइबा सरे खाइ परिबे. सेटा को शेडी हॉन्ट बा हम ताको ओएसिस बोली भी कहि परिबा. मरुद्यान. So शेडी हॉन्ट means oasis, a place where water and trees in a desert for rest for the very band of travelers. आम भूगोल रे पढ़ी हुए तो जो मरुयात्री दल अच्छा जाजाबर मरुयात्री दल अच्छा से गोटे जगह अन्य जगह को जाऊँगी और ये मझीरे गोटे जगह अन्य जगह को जाऊला बेले जदि से कौ जगह रेस्ट नाक चाहती से एमती गोटे जगह समुद्र माने मरुभूमि गोटे गोटे जगह एमती गोटे जगह थाए जोटी से किसी समय विश्राम नहीं पारे. ऑटो मैंने पानी टी पी पारे, से खाइबा खाई पारे. सो शेडी हॉन्ट स्टैंड्स फॉर ओएसिस बा मरुद्यान जहाँ आम ओडिया कहवा. A place with water and trees in a desert for rest. Arabian saints. Saints here stands for saint. Uncountable nouns. It reads like everybody, but saints means desert. So the deserts of Arabia. A voice. जेमती कहितली दीटा representative birds नेबे. First one is nightingale or bulbul चढ़ई, and a voice so thrilling. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest hybrids. A voice so thrilling never, and e पर जो कमा अच्छी सेटा never पाई अच्छी the poetic form रे सेटा singing करया पाई सुविधा हवा. So a voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest hybrids. Farthest hybrids here stands for the most remote group of islands that lies to the northwest of Scotland. Scotland रो northwest उत्तर पश्चिम भाग रे समुद्र भितरे जो द्वीपपुंज अछि group of islands that is called hybrids. And farthest means distant, the most remote, both दूर. You can say Sundargarh is a remote district of Odisha. So farthest hybrids, the most remote group of islands that lies to the northwest of Scotland. So a voice so thrilling, so pleasant, so beautiful, so catching, so engaging, so beautiful was never heard. Never was heard. पहले सुनाई नहीं दिया था. प्रथमरु आमे आगरु एते सुंदर सुनी नथिले. The poet is comparing that music. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime. Cuckoo is the representative bird of the springtime, because cuckoo is the bird that the music of cuckoo, the sound of cuckoo, we can only hear when it is springtime. So you can say cuckoo heralds, cuckoo brings us the news that spring has arrived on this earth. So a voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas. Now तुम कहि परिबो जे seas केतेबेले साइलेंट है. गभीर समुद्र भितरे seas are not so rough, there is no sound of the waves also, so breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest hybrids. समुद्रर गभीरतम प्रदेश रे टिके दूरिया जगह जो द्वीपपुंज माने हम देखियो पाइबा. से द्वीपपुंज रे जो साइलेंस अछि से समुद्र रे कोठी से किछ न थाए. से निर्जन द्वीपपुंज रे which breaks the silence of that particular group of islands is the singing of the cuckoo bird that heralds, that tells us, that gives us the idea, that gives us the message that spring has come onto this earth. So before going to the question part, let me once again repeat the lines for you people. Behold her single in the field. So the poet is passing through a highland in the highland area, that is towards the Scotland. So behold her single. When he was passing through that way, he sees a single girl cutting and binding the grains. Not only she cuts, she also binds, and all alone. Nobody was there in the field. So he says, behold her, see her, means the poet is not alone in passing. So there are other travelers, those who are going ahead of him or behind him. तांको आगे बा तांको पछरे किसी बैंड ऑफ ट्रैवलर्स किसी तांको बळिया किसी यात्री दल भी जाउचंती जो माने एमती किसी काम रे बाहरी चंती बा अन्य ये जाइचंती. तो से सेही पासर्स बाय मानकू से जो तांकर जो सहयात्री दल जो माने जाउचंती तांको से ठीक से जानि नहंती. तेणु से सेमान को पछरचंती, बिहोल्ड हर, देखो ताकू सिंगल इन द फील्ड, एकुटिया से खेतरे, योन ओवर देयर, योन सॉलिटरी, सिंगल, एलोन, हाईलैंडलेस. से पहाड़ी झीटी को देखो जी एकुटिया खेतरे शस्य काटुची एवं बांधुची. रिपिंग एंड सिंगिंग बाय हरसेल्फ, से निजकु निजे हुए तो तार निजर अकेलापन को काटिया पई से कोन करूची ना गीतटिए गाउची. तार कंपल्सन्स किसी थाई परे आमे परवर्ती स्टांजा मन करे पढिबा. सो रिपिंग एंड सिंगिंग बाय हरसेल्फ, स्टॉप हियर, शैल वी स्टॉप हियर, and that particular request is made to the travelers, those who are passing by with William Wordsworth the poet. So stop here, or gently, gently, slowly, softly, without disturbing the girl. But the poet is apprehensive, the poet is afraid of that if they make a sound, if they discuss that the girl is singing beautiful, how beautiful your song is, or something like that, the girl might stop singing. So without disturbing the beautiful song or the music of that girl, so the poet is asking the passers-by that shall we stop here or gently pass. Slowly pass means cross that particular area without disturbing the girl. Behold her single in the field, yon solitary highland lass. Highland lass जेमती कहली माउंटेन एरिया रो बा पहाड़ी झियो एकुटिया जे काटुची, रिपिंग एंड सिंगिंग बाय हरसेल्फ, एवं तार एकुटिया पण को काटिया पई से निजे निजे गीतटिए गाउची. So से गीतर जो म्यूजिक अच्छी ता alone she cuts and binds the grain and sings a melancholy strain. She is singing a pathetic song, but a दुखद संगीत से गाउची. एवं that actually that sad music enraptures, captures the imagination, captures the mind, captures the heart. The whole being of William Wordsworth is and captured by that beautiful song. से गीतर मधुरतारे मधुरिमारे कवि हजि जाउचंती, अटकी जाउचंती. से पासर्स बाय मन को पचारिबा सत्वे से अटकी जाउचंती. एलोन सी कट, से एकुटिया काटुची बांधुची, बिड़ा करिक बांधिकी जमी आने सुविधा हम सेमती बांधुची एवं सिंग्स ए मेलानकोली स्ट्रेंग एवं ये काटिबा एवं बांधिबा भितर सी कौन करुची गोटे सैड सॉन्ग गोटे दुखद संगीत गाउची सिंग्स ए मेलानकोली स्ट्रेन ओ लिसन आपण माने दया करिक सुनंतु ही स्पीकिंग लाइक दैट ओ लिसन फॉर द वेल प्रोफाउंड पूरा वेली सुगभीर उपत्यका समग्र एरिया जो क्षेत्र पार्श्ववर्ती अंचल से समग्र अंचल कौन होची इज ओवरफ्लोइंग विथ द साउंड सी जो झीर ब्यूटीफुल म्यूजिक से कौन करुची प्लावित कर दूची से समग्र उपत्यका संपूर्ण भाव में प्लावित हो जाउची मेलानकोली स्ट्रेन सैड सॉन्ग वेल स्टैंड्स फॉर वेली प्रोफाउंड डीप एंड वाइड ओवरफ्लो मींस सो फुल दैट इट गोज उछली पड़िबा हम भाषा सीधा से जो संगीत से संगीतर सुमधुर मूर्छना समग्र उपत्यका प्रतिध्वनित होउची गुंजरित होउची नो नाइटिंगेल जेमति कि कहितली जे पोएट जने संगे संगे कौन करेंगे जेते जने पोएट से जो सुंदर दृश्य टी देखुचंती तार कंपैरिजन टे आनिचंती ही कंपेयर्ड द सिंगिंग ऑफ द बर्ड विथ टू रिप्रेजेंटेटिव बर्ड्स समर टाइम रो बर्ड होची नाइटिंगेल बा बुलबुल चढ़ई जे गीत गांती कहा पई वेलकम नोट्स प्लीज जान एठी वेलकम नोट कहा पई होची से जो सॉन्ग कहारो द सॉन्ग ऑफ द नाइटिंगेल द नाइटिंगेल बर्ड सिंग्स फॉर द वेरी बैंड ऑफ ट्रैवलर्स वेरी एक्सेसिव टायर्ड अत्यधिक क्लांत हो पड़िथिबा से जो मरुयात्री दल बैंड ऑफ ट्रैवलर्स इन सम सेडी हंट कोठु जानिबा ने अरबियन सेंट्स दिटा वर्ड इट यूज हेची गोटे अरबियन सेंट्स दैट स्टैंड्स फॉर द डेजर्ट्स ऑफ अरब एंड सेडी हंट इज द वेसिस मरुद्यान जो जगह रे मरुयात्री दल विश्राम नवा पई टिके समय अटकी थांती सो वेरी बैंड ऑफ ट्रैवलर्स क्लांत श्रांत हो पड़िथिबा पथिक माने मरुयात्री दलक पई जो नाइटिंगेल रो संगीत जदि सुना गला से माने खूब बेसी आनंदित हो जाती एवं कवि मतरे कवि कहते वर्ड्सवर्थ इज ट्राइंग टू ब्रिंग ए कंपैरिजन बिटवीन दिस दैट सॉन्ग ऑफ दैट नाइटिंगेल इज नॉट सो ब्यूटीफुल एज मच एज द गर्ल सॉन्ग मीन्स द गर्ल सॉन्ग appears more beautiful, more pleasing, more heart touching than the song of the nightingale that sings for the very band of travelers when they pass the Arabian deserts. Now another comparison is there. A voice so thrilling never was heard. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird. तो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव बर्ड ऑफ स्प्रिंग टाइम स्प्रिंग आसिला बोली हमको कोइल रो स्वरूप जना पड़ुची से कहउचंती स्कॉटलैंड रो उत्तर पश्चिम भाग रे जो समुद्र अछि समुद्र मध्यस्थ द्वीपपुंजर नीरवता को भंग करके जो स्प्रिंग टाइम रे बसंत ऋतु रे जो कोइल रो मूर्छना बेले बेले भासी आसे तार जो मधुरता तार जो ब्यूटीफुलनेस तार जो एंजॉयमेंट तार जो प्लीजिंगनेस बा प्लीजांट निष्ठा या संगे जते बेले हाईलैंड ग्लास रो बा से जो एकुटिया शस्य कटाली झीर संगीत जो से शुणुंट से एकुटिया शस्य कटाली झीर संगीत मोर प्लीजिंग मोर एनकचिंग होची से कौन कहते ए वॉइस सो थ्रिलिंग नेवर वाज हर्ड इन स्प्रिंग टाइम फ्रॉम द कुको बर्ड ब्रेकिंग द साइलेंस ऑफ द सीज समुद्र से जो नीरवता कोटा से जो गभीर भितर जो अच्छी द्वीपपुंज से द्वीपपुंजर जो साइलेंस बा नीरवता निर्जनता ताकू जो भांगी दउथबा से कुको बर्ड रो आवाज बा जो म्यूजिक सेटा भी एते बेसी प्लीजांट नुह लाइक दैट ऑफ द हाईलैंड लास रो म्यूजिक कवि को खूब बेसी प्रभावित करूची से ठिया हेकरी सेटा सुनिबा को चाहउचंती. Now let us go on to some of the questions because as we are reading we must try to answer the questions that comes in between the lines. Who is single in the field? I think all of you might have read all this in a would have been able to understand properly. And who is single in the field? Please try to answer. When the question begins with who, you have to write the answer only in that particular part. Who is single in the field? Please, any one of you try to answer. Who is single in the field?
The Highland.
The Highland. Yes. The
Highland lass is single in the field.
The Highland lass is single in the
Highland
field.
lass field
is single. Yes, single or alone in the field. Next, what is she doing? What is she doing? What is she doing? Try to answer it, please.
She is ripping
Yes.
corn and sing a song.
She is ripping and
Ripping a corn and sing a song.
yes, very good. Try to make the sentence complete. She is cutting, or she is ripping and
Ripping corn. Singing.
She is ripping. Ripping means cutting. She is ripping and
And singing.
ripping means cutting. She is ripping and singing by herself. Okay.
Singing.
She is ripping and singing by herself. Who does the poet say, stop here or gently pass? Who does the poet say, stop here or gently pass? Who does the poet say? Try to understand the question.
The passerby.
The poet says, stop here or gently pass to the passers-by. Right, very good. The poet says, stop and gently pass to the passers-by. What is the tone of the girl's song? The answer is there, over there for you, because the word typical, who can say the word? What is that typical word? The girl was singing a sad song. Which particular word tells us that? Which particular word is...
song is sad.
The tone of the girl's song is sad, obviously.
The tone of the
very good for your attempt.
song is sad.
But from which word in the poem we come to know about that meaning of the word, that sad? Sad song.
Melancholy.
Which particular word? Melancholy, right? Melancholy. Melancholy strain. Right, melancholy strain stands for sad song. So from that particular phrase, we can say that the tone of the girl's song is sad. What is the valley overflowing with? What is the valley overflowing with?
Overflowing with the girl's song.
Yes. Valley is overflowing with the?
Overflowing with the solitary reaper's song.
With the solitary reaper's song. Very good. The valley is overflowing with the sound of the girl's music or solitary reaper's song. Okay. Who sings the welcome notes and where? Who sings the welcome notes and where?
Nightingale sings the welcome notes in all.
The nightingale sings the welcome notes and where does it sing? Nightingale কোথা গীতটা গায়?
Among the Arabian sands.
Among the
Arabian sands.
Arabian sands. Right.
Arabian sands.
Very good. For whom does the nightingale sing? The question answer is also there for you. The very bands, and the meaning of the very bands, instead of writing very bands, that will be a borrowed line from the book. You can write the meaning of that particular word, very bands, that is written. Very means tired and band of travelers. So nightingale sings for the tired travelers. Whose voice is thrilling? Whose voice is thrilling? Thrilling means so pleasant, anandadak. Whose voice is thrilling?
Cuckoo bird. Cuckoo bird voice is thrilling.
The cuckoo bird voice is thrilling. Very good, very good. When does the cuckoo sing? କୋଇଲିର ଗୀତ ଆମେ କେତେବେଳେ ଶୁଣିବାକୁ ପାଉ? When does the cuckoo sing? କୋଇଲି କେତେବେଳେ ଗାଏ?
In spring season. In spring season.
Yes. So, try to answer that in full sentence. The cuckoo does ଥିଲେ ଆମେ question ରେ କ'ଣ କରିବା?
Singing.
The cuckoo bird sings. Singing. Sings. Because the question is does. When does the cuckoo sing? The cuckoo sings
In spring season.
in the springtime, right? Always try to answer the questions in full length sentences, short and full length sentences. The cuckoo sings in the springtime. Which song is sweeter according to the poet?
According
song?
to the poet, the solitary
Reaper.
reaper song.
The solitary reaper is
According
song
to the
sweeter
poet,
and according to the
solitary
poet.
reaper's song is- The solitary reaper's song is more sweeter than two of the representative birds, nightingale and the cuckoo. So according to the poet, the solitary reaper's song is The solitary girl song or solitary reaper song is sweet. Okay. So all of you understood the 4 stanzas properly, or there is any doubt? Is there any doubt? Which stanza you would like to listen once more? Is there any difficult word for you people? आउ को stanza आउ थरे बुझिबा को चाहिबा? Or you understood everything? Let me summarize what we read. So once William Wordsworth, the romantic poet, was passing through the highlands of Scotland, and while passing through the valley, he saw a girl alone in the field. She was singing, and she was singing by herself while cutting the grain and cutting the crops and binding it also. She was single. She was all alone in the valley. There was not a single man or woman to be seen cutting or binding the grains, as the poet saw. So throughout the valley, in the whole valley, that solitary girl was, solitary means single, that single girl was doing the work in the field. But to avoid her loneliness, the girl was singing a beautiful song. And that was a sad song too, the poet says. But the music of that particular song overflows throughout the valley. Means the whole valley is overflowed with the music of that particular girl. Means से जो झीटी से जो गीत गाउथला से गीतर जो सुंदर स्वर से जो करुण स्वर गोटे दुखद संगीत से गाउथला तार स्वरटी एते बेसी आनंद माने हार्ट टचिंग थिला एते बेसी हृदय स्पर्शी थिला जे समग्र उपत्यका से स्वर रे गुंजरित हेई उठुतला तारेडे एवं निज आग पछरे जाउथबा लोक मानकू द पोएट विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ asked, shall we stop here or gently pass? अर्थात आमे एठी टिके अटकी करी झीर गीत सुनिबा की or gently pass without disturbing the girl's attention. Shall we pass gently, softly, slowly? And now next part रे second stanza रे सिखौचंदी alone she cuts and binds the grain, and से कुटिया काटुथला एवं तार जो एकुटियापण बा loneliness को दूरेइबा पई to wipe out, to avoid her loneliness. She was singing and the whole valley was filling with that beautiful music. Now, as a poet, he goes on to give us 2 comparisons of 2 of the beautiful birds that sings, that represents the thing. First one is the nightingale. Nightingale sings in the oasis for the weary band of travelers while they are passing through the deserts. Basically, Seddy Hunt, you understood? Seddy Hunt is a place, jahaku Odia ame Morudyan boli kohuche. So it is a place in the deserts where the band of travelers could rest for some time, and then and there they feel more pleasing welcome notes, pleasing song that they feel their heart fills with happiness when they get the chance to listen to the beautiful song sung by nightingale bird. Nightingale is the representative bird for summertime. And now, in the next stanza, very next stanza, the poet goes on to give us another example of the beautiful bird, singing bird, that is cuckoo. And the cuckoo's song is heard, as the poet suggests, that in the northwest of Scotland, in the seas, there are some group of islands where the silence of that particular Hebrides or group of islands is broken by the cuckoo's pleasant song. But to the poet, it feels, or he feels, that the solitary reaper song, the single girl, the alone girl song is more beautiful, more enchanting, more enjoyable than that of the nightingale or the cuckoo. Get it?
So what is the meaning of chant?
Chant means sing. Chant means sing. No nightingale did ever chant. Farthest Hebrides in the दूररे थिबा द्वीप समूह, स्कॉटलैंड रो उत्तर पश्चिम भाग रे थिबा समुद्र मध्यस्थ द्वीपपुंज को हेब्रिड्स बोली कहै छै, ग्रुप ऑफ आइलैंड्स. फारदेस्ट हला दूररे थिबा तो समुद्र मध्यस्थ द्वीपपुंज, से जो समुद्र कहबा स्कॉटलैंड रो उत्तर पश्चिम दिगरे से समुद्र अछि आउ कहारो किसी डाउट अछि एनीबॉडी वांट टू आस्क एनी क्वेश्चन आउ कहारो किसी भी क्वेश्चन अछि कि you failed to ask the question in English you can ask the question in Odia also I will be translating that for you but try to speak it if you want to ask any question on these 4 stanzas that we read so you please ask any difficult word any phrase or even the summary of the full stanza I think none of you have any doubts we will switch on to what part home task or else you want something do you want something more now kare kichi question ache ki please okay did all of you understand what I told you was the class good for you can you make your friends understand the 4 stanzas that we read today तमे जेमती चारटा स्टांजा पढ़लो तमे तम सांग मन को जो माने आज एब्सेंट अछंती एमती बुझे दी परिबो की can you do like that do like this suppose a friend of yours is absent today and can you make him or her understand as you understood today there lies the beauty of learning try to understand the things so that you can tell your friends what you learned today okay any suggestion from you that we can make this class more enjoyable did you listen a little bit more Odia in the English class the next part in the part 2 part means there are 4 stanzas and in that part I'll be using little Odia but today if you think a little more Odia was there I think it will help you to learn better but in the next part 2 in the part 2 session we will try to do it totally in English I think all of you have read this poem earlier in your school in your classes so it will be better on our part if we go on to discuss with more questions and more details of the phrases and words that are coined in the poem okay what did you learn about Wordsworth that type of question will not come in your exam but it is better for you people to understand literature as you are going on to learn in your succeeding classes in your senior classes William Wordsworth is one of the representative poets of English literature so about the poet that has been provided to you in your book that much is written about the poet you can go to that particular session in your book and you can come across the things his birth his death and what he has done what is the definition of poetry according to William Wordsworth who can answer it this type of question will not come in your exams but you should remember this particular definition as given by William Wordsworth.
Poetry is the spontaneous overflow
Poetry.
of powerful feelings arising
Yes,
from
very good, very good, very nice.
in tranquility.
Yes, very good. You have come across the lines. Poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful emotions recollected in tranquility. Okay, now switching on to the part of home task.
Sir, what is the meaning of tranquility?
Silence. There are 5 fill in the blanks and 5 single line answers. Deep and wide denotes the word meant for the valley. Alone dash cuts and binds the grave. Dash rest or are resting in the shady haunt. The phrase shady haunt implies and dash provides means gives peace and joy to the tired travelers in the deserts. When does the cuckoo sing? And what other singers does the poet remember while listening to the solitary reaper's song? What does the phrase humble lay mean? Who does the young girl in the poem the solitary reaper stand? And what does the phrase farthest hybrids imply? imply means suchita kariba. What does the phrase farthest hybrids imply in the poem The Solitary Reaper? I think you can quite easily attempt this sentence, these questions. One question is there as in reference to the second part. So when we will meet in the next class, we will discuss that particular question. But I will not tell you which question lies on to that particular thing. That is to test your ready wit or knowledge. Okay, I think I have given justice to you people. You have understood what you listened today, and more of the things, more about William Wordsworth or more about the song Solitary Reaper as it is, we will discuss in the second part of our discussion. Okay. Anything else you want to ask? You can write it down, your homework. You can copy down that. Shall we stop here? Or you want to ask something? If anyone has any question, if any one of you has any question, thank you for patiently listening and try to do the homework all by yourself without taking the help of your teachers. My sincere request is, if ever you are facing any trouble, then we can discuss it in our succeeding part. First 4 stanzas I have discussed, and I'll be discussing other 4 stanzas of the poem in the next class when it comes, and on that day we can discuss how to answer the questions better. So those who can attempt it all by yourself, my sincere request is try to do this without looking into the meaning books, guides, test papers, or even your teachers. Try to understand and try to write the answers as you understood from the class today. And if ever you have any doubt, even all the questions, if you fail to answer, I am there to answer this in the succeeding class. But my sincere request is not to follow any of the or guidebooks or test papers or even your teachers. Please do this. But because you are in a learning stage, you should know how to answer some of the questions all by yourself, and the pleasantness of answering the questions all by yourself, it will give you one type of thrill, one type of enjoyment. And if ever some of you are fearful of English, so try this type of short questions all by yourself. You can make the questions from the lines, in between the lines, through the lines, while reading in between the lines, reading through the lines, you can quite easily find these things. So my sincere request is, if you want to enjoy the poem, if you want to enjoy literature, if you want to excel in the field of literature, if you want to feel the beauty of literature कौन केमती करि पारे बा कविता केमती तुमको प्रभावित करिवो जेमती वर्ड्सवर्थ प्रभावित हेले. So you can try to answer all these questions all by yourself. If ever you fail, you need not worry, because in our succeeding class we will be discussing all these things first and then the new things. And till then, goodbye, have a nice day.